All right, good morning, everyone. Day 4 of free agency. I don't know if anything's going to happen today, guys. I don't. I hope it does. I hope we make a big splash. But at this point, we know Ryan Poles is being very conservative, and that's how he's going to play this out. He's going to make sure that he has all of his depth in place before the draft, and then the draft is going to be where he makes his splashes with the high draft capital we have. So I'm not going to go too much into that. I want to go over a little bit over the adjusted completion percentage talk that we've had, because especially since this has been circulating a little bit more, it hit a little bit of popularity. I want to discuss it a little bit further. So I'm going to clean it up first. So here is the cleaned up look, a little bit more complete so that it's not hard to explain different pressures. Clean pocket adjusted completion percentage, dirty pocket adjusted completion percentage, clean NFL passer rating, dirty NFL passer rating. Everybody's seen this. If you haven't, pause it for a second. We'll come back to it, but I want to break a few things down so people understand it a little bit better. So your NFL passer rating formula includes 5 variables: pass attempts, completions, passing yards, touchdowns, and interceptions. So right off the bat, you should understand with Justin Fields' box score, his NFL passer rating shouldn't be as high as other people's because of the system that's been called in, because of, I can give 10 excuses, but the reality is his numbers aren't as high on that. So his NFL passer rating shouldn't be as high. But when you look at his production, it's increasing every year, and he's not at the bottom of the pack, guys. So the fact that he's doing as well as he is under the circumstances he's in should give an explanation that this kid is actually pretty special. All right? Number 2, adjusted completion percentage. So the adjusted completion percentage measures the percentage of a quarterback's throws that are considered accurate or on target. It is the more accurate measure of how accurate a passer that a quarterback is. All right, so we're going to consider this a follow-up video. I made a video about did Justin Fields improve. I'm just going to run through this real quick. This is the end of the year for him. If you don't, I'll actually put it in the description of this video. I'll put a link to that one. I think everyone's probably seen that video. But I'm just going to run through some of this stuff real quick. This is his improvement. All these just show he's improved year after year. Okay, so here's his advanced passing, poor passer rating down, adjusted completion percentage come up, NFL passer rating coming up, his PFF grade coming up, and then there's this one. Here's the main one everyone's seen. Even though he has the 25th, 29th, and 26th ranked lines in pass blocking efficiency, he's improved in every metric every year. His dirty pocket, his clean pocket, his dirty pocket adjusting completion percentage, his clean NFL passer rating, his dirty NFL passer rating, they've all improved. And that was the point about Justin Fields, is he's improving every year. He's showing progress even in the face of difficulty. All right, then I compared it on another video to another quarterback, and this isn't to single Mac Jones out. This is just basically how it goes. But when somebody else mentioned it, it's a good example to show, because the year Mac Jones came into the league, he had the 3rd ranked line, 16th the next year, and then 27th this last year. And he ended up getting benched at the end of this last year. Most of you know that probably already. Justin Fields, 25th, 29th, and 26th, even though his pressures on him went up each year, 42.8, 45.7, 48.8, okay? So even though they went up this last year, they came down because he became such an efficient passer in a dirty pocket. So here's the two of them compared. This shows how Mac Jones' stats have gone down each year, got worse each year in completion percentage, in yards, in touchdowns to interceptions, and meanwhile, Justin Fields has gone up each year. Even though he only played 12.5 games this year, he had more yards than ever. He had a better touchdown to interception ratio, even including the 2 interceptions that shouldn't count from the Cleveland game. Everything has improved on him every single year. He's an ascending quarterback. That's what you want to see. All right, then there was this one. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but look at the middle. This is what the Justin Fields people who want to, we won't call them haters, we'll say they're scrutinizing him. Well, look at these 2 years. 2021 was actually decent. 2022, really good in the middle of the field, across the middle. So is this on Justin Fields that across the middle? And this is something that came up on the Windy City Breeze. They talked about in the middle, and they tried to bring that up from 2023. And I said, go look back at 2022. Well, what happened? What was the big difference? He got a new offensive coordinator in 2022. And what did this offensive coordinator get known for in 2023? He couldn't adjust and he couldn't adapt, especially in the second and fourth quarters. He couldn't get outside of his own game plans. He wasn't creative. Now, Matt Eberflus pinpointed this when he was talking about Shane Waldron coming in. He praised him and talked about how he can adapt and adjust. That's something Luke Getsy didn't get, and all the teams keyed in on it all year. Luke Getsy didn't get those linebackers to move off the ball. He didn't get them out of the box. He didn't get Justin Fields doing pre-motion or pre-snap anything to get pass rushers exposing their schemes. And so it became very predictable. In 2023, it's a miracle that we won 7 games. Now, we can do a whole nother video on that, guys, but the reality is he wasn't creative, and that's why he got canned. Now, he might be able to learn from that, go to Las Vegas, and do a better job. But in 2023, it's really a miracle that this team did as well as it did. And Darnell Mooney should be the most pissed off about it because it affected Darnell Mooney more than anybody. It made it difficult for him to get open, for him to get separation, for him to do his job across the middle because of that. And you see the effect on it. Instead of 101.8 NFL pass rating, 122.9 and 86 across the middle, it was 82, 54, and 64. Clearly the biggest weakness for the Bears was right there across the middle. Now, clearly Justin Fields didn't become less accurate. You see that there. His adjusted completion percentage was still up. And if we look here at the different measures of it, the short, medium, and long passing, the only area that went down in that adjusted completion percentage was across the middle. And that was the reason. So when we say things about Luke Getsy's play calling and making excuses and the weapons, that really did come down to Luke Getsy. And that's why he got canned. That's why he got fired. Now, a lot of people like myself and others like me who look at this stuff mid-season see this stuff, and that's why we were calling for him to get canned early. But the Bears never do that. They never fire someone mid-season. And there's some points to that, continuity, and there was a chance for the playoffs still, and you don't break that up. But to me, I wish they would have. I wish they would have ripped the Band-Aid off and figured out someone else. But I'm glad at the same point because now we get Shane Waldron, and it was desired. I mean, there's pros and cons. That's not the point of this video. But yes, I absolutely firmly can say Luke Getsy was responsible for not getting those linebackers out of the box or out of coverage schemes and not getting plays exposed to show where pass rushing was coming from. He made it very predictable. And it's not just me seeing this because he was graded as one of the worst play callers in the league, top or bottom 5 in the entire league last year. And I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not going to give you firm, but I think all 5 of those play callers were fired. Frank Reich was. Anyways, all 5 of those bottom ones I think were fired, and there's a reason for that. If you're not adapting with the NFL, it gets very predictable. You've got guys on both sides of the ball that are studying this stuff in those rooms nonstop, 24/7, creating, getting ingenious with things. And if you're not doing that, you get predictable. And they did exactly what to the Bears last year. They knew what was coming. That's why when you hear the whole story about the Packers playing the Bears week 18 and knowing what they needed to do, and if you can just keep Justin Fields in the pocket, it's because they knew across the middle there wasn't going to be anything exposed and they couldn't get anything there. They knew that the line was allowing more pressures than anybody else, so if you kept him in the middle and you got pressure on him, of course you're going to have to make him use his legs, and of course it was making it difficult because they knew what was coming. Luke Getsy was predictable. All right, so here's the big thing I wanted to get to at the end of this. Here's more meat. This hasn't been revealed yet, so this is a new reveal. No, Justin Fields is not the top in the league. In fact, and I don't have it here, but his overall adjusted completion percentage is just average. It's right in the middle of the league. His clean adjusted completion percentage is actually pretty good. You look at him, there's 77.8. And these are the top guys in the league, but he's still just average. He's lower. This is the top 12 for the highlighted area. Dirty adjusted completion percentage. How guys do in a dirty pocket. And to me, this has been the most revealing thing for me that I've learned about Justin Fields this offseason because he's improved despite the adversity. And that's what I love about him. That's why I've been pounding the table, and that's why I'm saying, no, we're running it back with him. I'm not just a Justin Fields fanboy. I really see the progress in this kid that excites me. So overall, he's 7th best in adjusted completion percentage in a dirty pocket. So he's not even the best, but he did pretty freaking dang well. And the guys above him have all been in the league longer than he has. This is things that guys who last in this league learn how to do. In fact, Geno Smith was on his way out of the league when he figured this out, and now he's had a resurgence. And look at his line. His line's pass blocking efficiency is 27th, just like Justin Fields. Finding a way. And they were very similar. The Seahawks were a verge of a playoff team just like the Bears were, and they didn't quite make it. Well, when you have the 27th ranked line, it's kind of hard to make the playoffs. Same as 26th. Now, Brock Purdy is pretty freaking dang special. You look at his clean pocket adjusted completion percentage, look at his dirty pocket. Now, they've got things run and pretty organized there in San Francisco, but they do need to increase or improve their pass blocking efficiency. But other teams like Sam Howell and the Commanders, he's learning how to do it too, but not quite as well as Justin Fields. And his NFL passer rating was way down. He had a lot more interceptions. So he has a few more weaknesses to work on. So this doesn't show the whole picture. I'm just showing how Justin Fields has improved. But overall, yes, his accuracy is average. He's right in the middle of the pack. If you're going to list this thing out, he's right in the middle of the NFL for his adjusted completion percentage. So no, he's not a perfect product. No, he's not finished. But I do believe this is why you bring Shane Waldron in. You bring him in for the exact same reason that Geno Smith has improved and efficient now, and you help him take those next steps. There's other steps that have to be taken too. You can't continue to have the line being the 25th, 29th, and 26th. And there's one stat, in fact, if any of you guys know where it is, I have scoured the internet for it. The NFL.com says they have an advanced statistic called time to pressure and quick pressure. Now, I've looked everywhere. I've looked on NFL.com. I've looked on NFL Plus. Because the time to pressure is the time elapsed from snap to the first moment of pressure. In the NFL, that's an average of 2.9. And we all know by now Justin Fields holds the ball the longest at over 3 seconds. But he also has the longest time of escapability in the league, by far, by over half a second. He escapes pressure and plays and creates more than anybody else in the league. But what I want to find is there's something called quick pressures. Quick pressures are defined as a pressure that occurs within the first 2.5 seconds of a play. Now, NFL.com says or states that they have an advanced metric in their next-gen stats that quick pressures are shown. I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. So if anybody has, I mean, this is free talk now. This isn't the basis of my video here. But if anybody has that, put it in the comments. I want to know if you know where that is specifically. I mean, give me directions like you're giving street directions to someone, because I can't find it. I've looked. I mean, I've spent hours looking. This is stuff that I research and that I scour. So if anybody has that or anybody finds it, let me know. And I'm not sending anybody on a mission or a hunt here to waste hours of your day. That's why I try to bring the stuff to you so you don't have to. But if anybody knows already, just share it with me because I'd love to have it. So I'm going to wrap that up for you. This is going to be the end of the little discussion this morning. A lot of you just asked for this in the comments of that chart. Where does he rank in this? Well, for a dirty adjusted completion percentage, he's 7th best in the league, and it's improved every year. And that's the point I'm trying to make with this. If Justin Fields hadn't improved every year, if he hadn't shown progress, exactly what Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles had been talking about, they wanted to see progress. They wanted to see him take less sacks. They wanted to see him throw the ball away more. They wanted to see him read down the field better, which he does, by the way. If they wanted to see him be able to keep his presence about him, not take the sacks, and be able to handle the pocket. And he's doing that. If he hadn't done this and had more advanced stats improving every year, clean passer rating, even though his stats aren't the highest, even though he doesn't have the most touchdowns or the most yards, he's had to deal with a lot of stuff with his receivers and with his line. Even with that, he's improving every year. If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be pounding the table for Justin Fields. I don't care if he's whatever in the NFL. I want my quarterback to improve, progress, and grow and be a star. I want a top-tier quarterback. And I believe that's what he's ascending to be. And I truly believe if he has the line to do it, and he has the wide receivers and the tight ends to do it, that he's going to be that. I really believe he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. He's already shown that he can be a top 10 quarterback in a dirty pocket. And if that's where he's spending half of his time, then why can't he do that with better coach scheming, with better line, and better wide receivers? So I guess this kind of turned into Free Talk Thursday, like I'm doing Free Talk Tuesdays. But I really want to just explain where he's at. A lot of you have asked that, and clean up that chart a little bit and show you adjusted completion percentage and why it's important to me. And I really think this is something Ryan Poles is looking at. He understands these things, but more importantly, he sees that Justin Fields is improving every year. And that's something that's important when you're evaluating him and whether we move on from him. So with that, leave you to it. Here we come to day 4 of free agency. I really hope we have a splash today. I'm really hoping for Mike Williams. That's what I want. Maybe it's happened by the time this drops. Maybe not. But until something happens, I'll be dropping it with you. I'll be making sure I'm right there with you guys. I'm on Twitter. I'm on all the different things to update you on here as I can. So with that, until next time, bear down.